Breaking news. Breaking news. The Jay Z case has been dismissed, right? So, all of the hard work that I've been doing, because I actually was going to explore this situation a little bit deeper. Um, I may still do it, but I don't know if I really necessarily have to do it at this point. Because it just occurred to me. Um, I didn't know this 30 minutes ago. Like it just occurred to me that the Jay-Z case has been dismissed. And I believe it was without prejudice as well, meaning that there's no way that they can actually bring this case back up at a later date. And I went in. There have been people that commented on videos that I put up. There've been people that commented on videos, like writing whole paragraphs about the situation, telling me why um, the female may have lied about the situation, or no, telling me why Jay Z is guilty and this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, it's clear as day that none of this can be substantiated. It's clear as day that she has no idea what it is that she's talking about. And I don't know if I delete the video or did I make it private? I'm not entirely sure if I deleted it or made it private. But I do have another video as well, titled Jay-Z Allegations. Let me see. I did that. I changed the name of it a few times. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's Jay-Z allegations are false, right? I did rename that as well. So whenever you guys do get an opportunity, go ahead and check that one out. But yeah, like I was telling you guys before, yeah, this it didn't a judge would have to be Satan to really look at this evidence and think to themselves, oh, this guy has to be guilty. um because when you look at all of the things that she was saying, like none of this stuff could be substantiated. And then she's putting smut, like there's so many different people that are not involved that were not involved in the situation, that she was just smearing their name, like people that were just innocent bystanders. And I kind of broke it down and I told you guys, based on her response, it seemed as if this was a troubled individual. And that's no excuse, because there are actual people that are victims to these crimes that actually really deserve justice and deserve empathy, right? I don't take any pride in coming up here and having to point out inaccuracies or point out people lying on other people. I don't take any pride in that. Like there's nothing, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it is something that needs to be done, right? When you have individuals that are doing things like this, it needs to be pointed out, right? Like these things need to be stopped. But again, this is something, guys. I've been saying it, and let me see if I could actually find it, because it just occurred to me. Case dismissed. It just occurred to me. Honestly, like 20, 30 minutes ago. Um, I realized that this is something that actually really did happen. So let's check it out, because uh, Law and Crime actually started. Law and Crime actually did a video on it, and I want to check it out because I don't know any of the details yet. I don't know any of the details. The only thing that I know vaguely is that it might be something that was dismissed without prejudice. But let's find out. Let's find out together. Let's find out together. All right, here we go.
Breaking news. The high-profile sexual assault case against hip-hop moguls P. Diddy and Jay-Z has been dismissed with prejudice, meaning it's been permanently dismissed and cannot be filed again. And this is a major civil lawsuit, too. It's the one involving Jane Doe, who claims she was raped by both Diddy and Jay-Z at a party when she was only 13 years old. For Law and Crime, I'm Sierra Gillespie. Now, news of this broke early Friday evening when we got our hands on the court docs. They're pretty straightforward, too. Here's what they read, quote, pursuant to Rule 41A 1AI of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby gives notice that the above captioned action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. Counsel for plaintiff have discussed this matter with counsel for each defendant who acknowledge and consent to this submission, dated New York, New York, February 14th, 2025. The court doc is short and sweet. That's really all it says. So we don't have the other details, like whether this was...
You know what's crazy about this whole situation now? It's like this, right? So Jay-Z had to go through this whole humiliation, right? We still don't know who the victim right? The person that brought up these charges, we still don't know what her identity is, right? And she remained anonymous, and she's still anonymous, despite the fact that she brought up these allegations, despite the fact that now this case was dismissed, right? We still don't know what her identity is, right? So the thing is, people could trump up these fake charges on you and conceal their identity while you, right, face all of the public scrutiny, all of the ridicule, and you just face everything, all of the negativity, while that person just sails off into the sunset, right, with still being able to keep their own lives intact. Well, this is something that we explored as well in the video. We were talking about this stuff, like what exactly is it that's going to happen to the individual that brought up these charges? What exactly happens to that individual? Does that individual just go away scotch-free? Nothing happens? You brought it, you brought it up. You brought all this embarrassment and all of this disgrace to this person, right? You threaten their livelihood, you threaten their family life, and then you just sail off into the sunset. Like you just sailed off, nothing. That part right there, that's the part that I really have a problem with, because I believe that her identity should be revealed. And it's just like I was telling you guys before in the video, the live stream, and also I did, I actually consolidated it and put it together in a video, and I just broke it down for you guys. I broke it down. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out that video as well. It's not a live stream. Well, it was originally a live stream, but then I just turned it into an actual video. So you guys can actually go and check it out and see how we just dissected it from start to finish. And for me, it's a no-brainer. Like a judge would have to be Satan to really look at this evidence and think to themselves, oh, no, this person's guilty. It just wouldn't make any sense to me, to be completely honest with you. But my whole thing is, the person that was there in the shadows on NBC, that was sitting there and that was telling these stories, this absolute falsehood that we were sitting there and we're listening to, and we're like, huh? And I'm there and I'm scratching my head like, what is she talking about? Like, none of this stuff makes sense. So that person still remains anonymous. What are the consequences for a person that does this stuff? Right? Because I'm a little bit ignorant to it, but what exactly are the consequences for a person who does something like this? Because again, there are people who are actual victims of these things that actually really do need our empathy and need our love. And it's stories like this that shouldn't take away from the fact that those people actually really need help. And you got fake people like this that bring up fake charges, and he just sail off into the sunset. What's preventing somebody else from doing this again? No consequences?
Settled outside of court, or whether Jane Doe suddenly felt there wasn't enough evidence in the case. And honestly, we may never know, given that it was dismissed with prejudice. Again, that means Jane Doe cannot bring a civil suit with these same allegations again against Diddy or Jay-Z. It's a huge win for Jay-Z and a decent win for Diddy too, though he still does face a slew of other civil lawsuits and of course those federal sex.
I sat up here as well, right? So as far as like, look at these two individuals, right? This individual right here, he carried himself a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? And there was already rumors flying all about this guy, right? So it wasn't really a surprise, that these allegations were levied against him, right? He openly did a lot of things, right? But I did also say some of this stuff may be true with Diddy. Like his situation is a little different, right? Because he has certain character issues and issues within himself. So with Diddy, it's just a little bit different. Some of the stuff that's brought up against him, yes, I do believe that some of that stuff may be accurate, right? But as far as where Jay-Z's concerned, and I can't swear for any of these individuals, but especially with this case, I don't know about anything else, but this case and the evidence that was brought up, this time, like, yo, what is this? What exactly is this? This is absolutely absurd. And the fact that there were so many people that were on YouTube, right? The fact that there were so many individuals that were on YouTube, the fact that there were so many individuals that were on social media, the fact that so many people really took Jay-Z's name and just smeared it in the dirt as if they knew that he did it. Those people are absolutely disgraceful. The people that sat here and took this man's name and just wiped it all the way in the ground. Now, look, you have an individual that told you about their flaws. You have an individual that openly stated throughout their rap career about a lot of the negative things that they did in their life, right? And when it's all said and done, like, this isn't, because I've listened to Jay-Z for a very long time, right? I've listened to Jay-Z for a very long time. And not to say because you listen to somebody's art or you watch somebody's interview means you know what they do behind the scenes. It doesn't mean that, right? But you listen to it enough to realize, okay, cool, I have an idea of who it is that I'm dealing with. Have an idea when you sift through the facade and you swift through the swag and you and you sift through the layers, right, of who that person wants to present themselves as, you tend to see who that person is. And again, it's not in every case, but for the most part, especially when you have individuals that are authentically really expressing themselves, you get to actually get a gist of who it is that you're really dealing with. You do. But when it's all said and done, it doesn't necessarily mean that you put anybody on a pedestal. It doesn't necessarily mean that you actually really know these people. However, this isn't one of those things that I think to myself, well, yeah, I could see that happening. No. But when I saw the evidence, it's like, no, definitely don't see this happening. She got up there and she was talking about Good Charlotte, right? And she said this guy, Benji Madden. Hey, I'm wondering if it was settled out of court. Is it possible he paid them off? Says Thrifty Simplicity. Thrifty, I don't believe that he paid them off. I don't believe that he paid them off. And because remember his initial response, right? His initial response, actually have it written here. Actually wrote it down in notes, right? So this is how he initially responded through Rock Nation. I believe it might have been X or something like that, right? So he says, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. And remember, we talked about it through the songs that he, throughout the years when you listen to Most Kings, and Jay-Z talks about media meddles, niggas sue you, you settle. Every step you take, they remind you ghetto, right? So people sue you and then they believe that you're going to settle because, number one, you have so many different things that you're dealing with. It's like, yo, just let this go away. So a lot of times these things may come across an artist's desk. And they're like, yo, bro, I don't have time to be going to court. All right, how much do they want? Right? It's not an admission of guilt. But because this was something that tied him in with Diddy, he had to fight it. I don't believe that anybody was paid off, right? Again, when you sit and you watch the video, Thrifty, which is the video that I put out last week, right? Damn, I don't even remember what I titled it, but I put out a video. It wasn't a live stream, but it was from a live stream that I did. And I actually mentioned your name in it as well, right? But it's from a live stream that I did. And when you look at the video, it breaks down all the inconsistencies, right? So again, he said the nature of these allegations of public scrutiny would make me want to settle. He said, no, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud that you are in a very public fashion. So, no, I will not give you one red penny. So, this is what Jay-Z said to Tony Busby. I will not give you one red penny. I would not say, because it's something where they could have settled it out of court. They could have settled it out of court. But Jay-Z said, no, I'm not going to settle with you. I'm not going to give you any money. We're going to take this to court because it didn't happen, right? So this is how it goes, right? I have no idea how I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby. But I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine, and Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. And then he goes further. He says, my heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. He's talking about his daughter when he's talking about mourn another loss of innocence, because now his daughter's perception is sort of shaped by these allegations as well. And he's talking about protecting his family. So he said, children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and the human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their story is dressed in a costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. He's talking about Busby again. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake seriousness surrounding harm to kids would be laughable. Hold on. Fake physics will believe this idiotic claim. You levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding the harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. So that was Jay-Z's response to Tony Busby. So basically, again, when we broke down the Most Kings lyrics, and Jay-Z talks about the media meddling and people suing you, you settle, right? So ordinarily, this is what people would do, especially in a celebrity's case, right? Like, it's like, all right, cool. I don't really want this to reach the light of day. So let's just settle it out of court and just get it, because it's a civil lawsuit, right? But Jay-Z doesn't want this attached to his name, doesn't want it attached to his brand, and he doesn't want anything to do with the Diddy situation. So of course, if this is something that never happened, let's take it all the way, right? But yeah, let's listen a little bit more to what it is that happened.
Trafficking charges. Even though this lawsuit has been tossed out, let's still go through what Jane Doe was alleging. In the lawsuit filed last year, she alleged she was raped by both Diddy and Jay-Z at a VMAs after party back in the year 2000. Jane Doe alleges she was only 13 years old at the time. She was hoping to snag a ticket to the MTV Video Music Awards in September of 2000. She didn't get inside, but she did allegedly meet up with Diddy's limo driver, who apparently told her she fit what Diddy was looking for. Jane Doe alleges this limo driver picked her up later that evening and drove her to a white house behind a large gate. Inside, she says she was forced to sign an NDA and never received a copy of it. After all of that, she went into the party where she allegedly saw a lot of celebrities, illegal drug use, and some underage drinking. And Jane Doe herself even had a drink. She says she now believes it was spiked by Diddy or one of his associates because after she had some, she started to feel off. Jane Doe says she went into a room that she thought was empty but didn't lock the door. As she was laying down, she alleges Diddy busted open the door and yelled, quote, "You are ready to party." Now, there were allegedly 3 celebrities involved in this next part. Diddy and 2 other people originally listed in the lawsuit as Celebrity A and Celebrity B. Jane Doe says she was raped by Celebrity A as Celebrity B and Diddy watched. And after that, she claimed Diddy raped her as the others watched on too. Several weeks later, though, she amended the lawsuit to include the name of Celebrity A, Sean Carter, also known as Jay-Z. That was the first time we heard Jay-Z's name in relation to any sexual assault allegations, and he's always denied these allegations, as has Diddy. Now, Celebrity B has not been publicly named, but there are some allegations that it was Jennifer Lopez, Diddy's girlfriend at the time of this alleged incident. Again, we cannot confirm that, just allegations. Now, fast forward to several weeks after all of this, Jay-Z's team picked apart bits of Jane Doe's lawsuit and factual inconsistencies between the original filings and an interview she later did with NBC. For example, Jane Doe said in the interview that she spoke with Benji Madden the night of the assault that happened in New York. But he wasn't even in the state at the time. He was actually in the Midwest with his band Good Charlotte.
Yes. And I remember, if you guys go and watch the video, I show you guys the proof that he was in the Midwest, right? Whether you watch the original stream or you watch, the video that I actually uploaded last week, you'll see that Benji Madden, who she put on the scene, was in a completely different state, 12 hours away. Completely different state. So she put smut on Benji Madden's name. She put smut on her father's name. There's another unnamed celebrity. She put smut on Jay-Z's name. She put smut on her friend's name, who's no longer here, right? She spoke about her leaving. Listen, I break down the whole thing. I'm telling you guys, go and watch the video to get a more in-depth look at it, right? I was going to do more. Like, I really was working on some more things, but I'm like, all right, cool. I could do that, but here it is now. It's all come to light that this was the allegations exactly what it is that I thought it was. It's false.
Jay-Z's team also pointed to the lawsuit where Jane Doe says her father picked her up after this alleged incident. But in the NBC interview, her father said he had just learned of the allegations that very year. Now, the case was quiet for a while until now, when it has officially been thrown out. Now that you're all caught up on today's breaking news, we're going to throw it to Law and Crime's Jesse Weber to break down Diddy's latest superseding indictment in his federal case. For Law and Crime, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Sean Combs has officially been hit with a superseding.
All right, this ain't about Sean Combs. Sean Combs, that's a completely different thing. We're on about Jay-Z right now, right? And this is exactly what it is that we were focused on. The fact of the matter is, Jay-Z didn't have anything to do with it. But before I even leave this, let me just go ahead and hit them with a like, right? I'm not subscribed on this channel, but I'm going to subscribe anyway. Cryptic Reasoning. I am subscribed to my on my personal channel, but all right, cool. Cryptic Reasoning. Let's go down this page, right? No, not live stream. Let's go to videos, right? So boom. Regardless, right? This video right. Let's see the Jay-Z accuser. This video right here, situation, right? Down the whole thing. I'm telling you guys, once you go here and you watch this video, this came from a live stream, and you watch this video in its entirety, we break down all the consistencies based on her NBC interview, all of the inconsistencies, right? Again, the title, Jay-Z allegations are false, from live stream, right? Because none of it made sense. And now it's coming to light, right? Where people are actually starting to see that, none of this really actually makes sense. Like a lot of the things
Breaking.
saying, like she spoke about driving from Rochester, New York with a friend at 13 years old, right? Look, go and watch that video. I'm telling you guys, go watch that video. It'll definitely open up your eyes. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to speak on that. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to do an actual more in-depth video. You know, tomorrow I'm gonna actually gonna be picking up my kid and taking her out, getting her some stuff. But yeah, we'll talk more about the situation. But anyway, I just kind of wanted, that was just breaking news. I just wanted to get on here and, you know, just kick it with you guys for a little bit. And yeah, you know, justice is served. Like any judge looking at that situation, like you would have to be Satan to convict somebody or say somebody's guilty after you see this evidence. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, the case was dismissed. And largely in part due to the fact that the individual did not have a case. And she's troubled. She should be seeking help. But also, to be completely honest with you, I believe her identity should be revealed so everybody knows who to stay away from. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tapping in. Appreciate you. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.